Hello everybody and welcome back to Create Alternate Selection 2. Today we're going to be continuing with the factory area. And but before we kind of get into that, I would like to thank all of you for the massive amount of love and attention that the past two videos I think have gotten. The redstone one and then also the quartz and andesite one. Honestly, like those things are responsible for like half the views on my channel, and all the other videos in this series have gotten improved viewership because of those. So thank you all so much for watching and for doing all of that. If you want to help me keep that streak going, like, share, comment, subscribe. Keeps these videos showing up in feeds like yours and helps let me know what you like, especially comments. If you have any tips for the use of Create mod or any of the mods I'm going to be using in this series, please let me know your tips and I'll do my best to respond to all of them. Anyway, so at the end of the last episode, we did the quartz and andesite factory. And as you can tell, I had a bit of fun with the decoration. I used a variety of quartz, and then also one of the mods in this mod pack is handcrafted. So I had these pillar trim pieces that I used for accents down here. Went kind of hand with lanterns to make sure it's all lit up. Quartz pillars, and then also this is the top of quartz pillars, and then chiseled for kind of this Parthenon style build. Coated the entire thing in here with quartz. I forgot a casing there. But there's actually 2 layers of quartz here because I needed the extra block. But yeah, so this is what we're currently looking at with the quartz, and then also I threw the andesite factory in there as well. But for now, the kind of portion of the build centered around the mine down here. So most of the cobblestone-based creations, because all of these right here, surprisingly, come from cobblestone as a base. But the other resource we desperately need a whole lot of here is wood. And that is going to be this section right here. It's going to be a bunch of automatic wood farms, similar to the ones I built in previous, back at the main house over there. But to do that, we need a central building right here, which in addition to being the kind of the wood storage area, it's also going to be what's producing charcoal, because charcoal is very important here as well. And then probably going to have to figure out if we want to have the diamond creation area here or elsewhere. But we need to, and the reason I'm doing it in this specific chunk here that I marked out is because I went and got me another one of the brass chunk loaders, and we're going to be using that to keep this whole area loaded when it is not in use, or when I'm not around here. I, in fact, already have that. If you remember, I have that set up. I have one set up right here, and I also have one set up under here. I think it's nestled in there. But so I marked out this area. We're going to go ahead and build a little wood hut, or at least the beginning of it, so that I can start getting power transfer out. And then in all the chunks surrounding it, we're going to be doing wood farms. So we're going to go ahead and build at least some of the infrastructure and get back to you guys. So, if you've watched some previous episodes of the series, you'll probably know what I'm about to say. I think I overdid it. So, as you can tell, I haven't just built the main basis for the wood hut. I've just straight up built the wood hut. Now, I do have some decoration ideas that I'm going to be doing at a later time, like a wood pile or something. But for the actual storage and such, I completely forgot about this, but most of the functionality is now done. I have to go into FreeCam for this. But the idea is that the wood will come in over here, and woods will go into here. Saplings will go into here, and then sticks have the smallest amount because sticks are craftable, but sticks will go there. Then anything extra will get rerouted and thrown into some lava. And that's just a lag prevention. Over here, this is going to be taking wood from this, putting it over here, so that I can get charcoal, which then goes into the center of the three large iron vaults. And in fact, all of these have the capacity in current build to go up one more. Over here, we have the brass trunk loader set up, drawing power from the top instead of the bottom, where we have the kinetic bridge and overstress clutch combination. And I did do a test at some point, and it does in fact pull stuff out of these vaults. So now we need to get the all the wood farms around here, which will all then be taking all their wood and throwing it into here. So let's come back as soon as I have all of that marked out. Okay, we've got some more work done on the wood farm so far. So gonna go ahead and show you guys what I got. So I went back and I discovered that I have 4 types of saplings currently: spruce, acacia, birch, and oak. And so, for now, I have 4 main circles of wood. And, yes, there are different sizes, but honestly, with the amount of AFK I'm going to be doing, I'm going to have more than enough of each. So I'm not really concerned. And yes, technically I only have 1 silo here, and I may end up digging underneath and adding extra silos down here. Maybe I should do that just so I have all the wood. Yeah, I think I will end up doing that. How many saplings are there, actually? Because that would be good to know. Okay, I don't know if I'm actually going to have a farm for each of these, because there's... Maybe I'll have to end up doing a second wood section somewhere. I think that's what I'll do. And I will just do oak saplings for now. And then elsewhere, I can make separate farms for all the separate saplings. Because right now, the goal isn't farm everything possible. Right now, the goal is, make sure I have a good supply of wood so I can use it for crafting other things. And I can do that with oak saplings because I have a bunch of those. But point still stands, I currently have 4 big circles, and I have space to put a whole bunch more. I can fit one here, maybe fit one there because it's within both of these chunk loaders. One over here, small one right there if I wanted to. Could dig out this section right here. Heck, I could even extend it and put some up here or something. But for now, this is what I'm going with. And as I said, I can always, maybe over here put a much bigger facility with one farm and one storage for each wood type. But yeah, so what I like to do when I'm making, my material cutter is I like to use a bunch of item vaults to make sure I can hold everything, and then a barrel because then that allows me to preload saplings. And then of course you have the pull storage interface, and I always set these to pull out stacks, and then it pulls out everything but only in groups of 64, which means that there is most of the time at least one sapling in here, which will allow it to keep going infinitely. And so all of these are going to be running down this way. Then I still need to figure out how exactly all these are being powered and such. But it goes up here. Then there's going to be another conveyor belt running this way, which then maybe, snakes around here and picks up these two. But that is, what we've got so far. And we're going to go ahead and get the rest of these wired up and built up. And then we'll come back in then. See ya. Okay, now I have the 4 rings of trees all running successfully. And so if you remember back when I first made the wood farm, I want to say all the way back when I was still working on, the design for my actual house. Very similar design here. So I am currently using the conveyors that move all the wood back to the main house here. I'm using those conveyors to also transfer the power out to the various spinners. And that's how I'm generating my wood. And then in the future, if I turn out needing more wood of this scale, I have this area right here. I can put one. I can put another one over here. One over here. Here. I could theoretically throw 1 or 2 over here. And I can always make, other areas. But looking at today's time, we actually may have time for another facility. This is a facility that is going to be going over here. And going to be drawing power from this. So, let me go make sure I have what I need for that, and then we'll get right to it. And what is starting to become a common theme for today's episode, I went a bit overboard. Even that's not lined up properly. But anyway, so what I have done is I created a giant brick. And this brick is going to be the main the kelp farm. And rather than the only getting smoked kelp that I have back at the main base, I am also going to make it so that I am able to access ordinary kelp. And that is why, I have this silo, and then it's going to go from here out onto the smelter over here. So I was just about to, connect up here, and I was like, wait a second. Did I actually go and put it in and show you guys this? I was like, no, I didn't. I simply said I was going to go get ready. And, I got a bit too ready. So, just going to go ahead and name this kelp output. Only send. There we go. And so, yeah, that's the giant silo I plan on using for kelp. And, here's a smelter. I'm going to come out with, everything we need here. I think, I got the time. I'll go ahead and show you, the rest of the process for building this. So, let's see, right now, let's see, those there. Actually, first I need to go and pull out the clutch, and I know I have the kinetic bridge here somewhere. There it is. So, let's see, it's vertical gearbox, overstress clutch, kinetic bridge, and then I want to go horizontal, vertical, take this out, pick it up, vertical, then I want shafts, there, and there, going the right direction, good to know. And let's see, will this work? Yes, that will work to go other way. So get the stock links, and I want them there and there. That should be good. Okay, now I need to hook the fans up in, and I can do that over here. Shaft. I need a horizontal gearbox, so split like that. Then vertical, vertical. That's blowing the right direction. Now I can take a belt, go there. Then I also need a small cogwheel to stick there so that I can take the mechanical arm. I'm going to take and deposit. And that's going to be powered right there. And just because I have the space here, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more mechanical arms for that. So take and deposit. Should allow me to get a lot of the kelp in. So that is now this portion. And I can go ahead and take these vertical gearboxes. There. And now this, I can take this power and run it all the way up here. Where it will then run over here. And I need to go ahead and build the kelp harvesting machine. I'm going to go ahead, get on that, and then finish up. Okay, doing the last little bit here. Vertical gearbox, large cogwheel, speed controller. Need a couple more of these. And swap motor. Normal. Gearbox. Boom, boom. Gearbox. Boom. Huh. Wonder what's happening there. I may have to do some checks. Let me get back to you guys. So it took me longer than I expected, but I did manage to get it working. And looking around, none of the issues that plagued it are currently plaguing it. So I'm going to have to go and recase this entire thing to make it actually, a normal shape. But it's working, and I gotta go replace all the kelp because I just destroyed it all because I forgot about that and that. Anyway, let's plant some kelp so we can actually somewhat see what's going on with it. Okay, so I'm down here, and hopefully what happens is we get some output into the silo. Though honestly, I'm thinking I'm having so many issues, I probably should just call it here and deal with the sorting this out later. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much for tuning in to this absolute mess of an episode today. Again, thank you so much for the last 2 episodes getting as high a view count and everything as they did. Keep the likes, shares, comments, subscriptions, all that good stuff coming. Helps me show up in your feed and lets me know what you like. That's going to be it for today. Bye-bye.